Have you got switches or sockets that are surface mounted like this and you want them flush into the wall, or do you want to add additional sockets or switches? Well, today on Fix It with Fowler, I'm going to show you how to chase these boxes into the wall ready for sockets and switches, and how to chase out ready for the wiring with as little dust as possible. According to building regulations in the UK, socket outlets and switches should be between 450mm and 1200mm above the finished floor level. Now, this only really applies to new builds or large extensions and doesn't cover existing older properties like this one. And that is why I've chose to put this socket at 300mm above the floor level to the top. Once you've decided on the height of your new socket outlet, or if you're chopping in existing sockets, you can then get a metal back box, put onto the wall, make sure it's level and draw around it, and that'll give you a pretty good guide before you start chiseling out. Now, one thing to mention is, before you start any of this work, preparation is the key. And what I mean by that is place dust sheets everywhere you can, and make sure that the room is really well ventilated. And I also use another little trick. If you place a vacuum cleaner near to a window with the outlet pointing that window, you can then open that window up and place the nozzle near where you're working. That way you can eliminate most of the dust. You could just get the end of the hoover and put below where you're working, and that indeed will get rid of quite a bit of the dust. However, I've got something even better, and that is called the extra hand. Now, I use this loads, and what makes this so good is it relies on nothing more than your vacuum cleaner. It comes with a multi-attachment that you can just push in like so, and then you can put that onto the end of your vacuum cleaner. Now, how it works is when you turn it on, it creates a vacuum here, and that sucks to most surfaces, and then any of the debris goes down that bit. And what's so good about this is you can put it really close to where you're working and it will stay in position. The first thing to do is set the depth of the box, and the way to do this is to hold the drill bit up to the box and mark it with some tape. That way, when you drill round the box, you'll end up with a good depth guide for you to begin to chisel out. Before starting, make sure you wear the correct PPE. Once you've got your dust extraction in place, you can begin by drilling around the outside of the box. This ensures you don't damage the existing plaster and also acts as a depth gauge. Using the same drill, I turn it to hammer only function and then go around the outside of the box. It's important at this stage to take your time so you don't damage any of the existing plaster. To remove the centre of the box, I like to chisel from one side, working my way along the back of the box, and then repeat from the other side. That gives you a nice flat finish to the back of the box. You may need to keep repeating this process until you get a nice flush finish with the box. Once you're happy with the socket and it's nice and flush with the wall, the next thing is to mark it into position. I always use one of these marksman tools. You can just push it through the hole, fire it, and it marks any surface. You can then take that box out. You can see clearly where to drill. But before you do that, if you turn the box over, select two of the knockouts, knock them out using some side cutters or some pliers. You can just wiggle them out, and then make sure you install your grommets. You can now drill and fix that into position. Have you subscribed to my channel? Well, if not, why not? It does not cost a thing. You're missing out on loads of great content. If I'm not making things like this, I'm fixing shed roofs,
I'm mending doors, windows, doing plumbing or electrics. You name it, I've got it on my channel. So head over, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to leave this video a comment and a thumbs up, and that will help it reach loads of other people.
That's the back box installed, and now you can repeat the same process down the wall for the cables. So that is the sockets now chased into the wall, ready for the wiring, and we'll be completing that next week on my electrical series. So I hope you found that video useful and helpful, and if you have, please give this video a like and a comment because it helps it reach other people. And please, finally, don't forget to subscribe for more great DIY videos.